Hey folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for week ending June 9th for the City of Toronto. The market is giving us some really mixed signals right now. Okay, real quick before I get into the numbers, let me tell you a story. 2 weeks ago, I got invited to a listing presentation. Someone called me, said, I'm thinking of selling. I hear the market's going down, they said, and I want to talk about selling my house and what it would sell for. So I went to go visit. I had a look at the house, and the number that they had in their mind was, say about 1.7. And when we looked at the sales on their street and one or two streets over in their pocket of their neighborhood, I said to the seller, I said, well, I'm expecting your home to sell for 1.8, somewhere around there. And they were surprised because in their mind they're thinking the market is going down. And maybe for a few weeks it was in the City of Toronto or in general, across the GTA. Maybe those were the headlines then, but in their neighborhood is what really counts. And in their neighborhood, the market was actually going up. And in fact, we sold it for $75,000 higher than what they thought it was going to be. So, what I'm talking to you about here, it's from say a 10,000 foot level. It's to give you a general idea of what's going on in the market. But a really good realtor is going to look at the few streets around your neighborhood. They're not going to be influenced by, say, what they're reading out in the headlines out there, or even what other people are telling them. They're going to look at the facts, at the data, and tell you approximately, fairly accurately, what your home should sell for. Let's get into the numbers. So again, mixed feelings, mixed clues out there. I'm going to show you why it's hard for me to predict what's happening in the future. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. Let me start again. I'm with RE/MAX Premier. These numbers are just for the City of Toronto. So there's no Mississauga, there's no Vaughan, Richmond Hill, there's no Durham. There are other videos on my channel though talking about those areas. Check out some of my other videos. Okay, so when we look at sales, we sold 247 detached properties last week for week ending June the 9th, and that's down from the week before. And when we go back a couple months, it's actually slowly been declining. So there's, why is it declining when normally at this time of the year we're heading up? But so sales are declining. The amount of properties, detached properties selling at $2 million or more shot up. We sold 76 properties at $2 million or more last week. Look at average sold price. We're at $1,820,000 is the average sold price for a detached home in the City of Toronto. Over 1.8. These are record prices. 1.8, 1.832 over here. You got lots in the highs, 1.7. But even if we just focus the last month or so, month and a half, average sold price has been going up. So sales have been coming down slightly. Average sold price has been going up, seems somewhat aggressive. These are the clues as to which way is the market going to be heading. Compared to last year now, we had the first time we were told to stay at home during the health crisis, but the blue here, that's last year's average sold price. You could see us now, remember when we started to come out of this and start to kind of get used to with the whole mask thing, and all of a sudden from sales being extremely low and average sold prices coming way down, we started to come out of it last year. So compared to last year's average sold price, we're 16% higher, but we've been in the 20s for a while. But last year we sold 26 properties at $2 million or more. This year in the same week, we sold 76 properties at $2 million or more. Vast difference. So last year, the blue, again, that's last year's numbers. So these are the sales. We started to kind of get more comfortable in going out and buying. And so sales were increasing last year at this time. This year, Sales are coming down little by little. But here's a kind of, so sales are coming down. The expensive properties, more volume are getting sold. Here's a clue that kind of gives the opposite of what maybe we could be thinking. The amount of properties sold at list price or more is 64%, and 64% is way down from where we were just a month ago. So there's less people competing. There's still people competing, 64%, but less than it was before. It's not as intense out in the market right now. When we look at listings, so sales are coming down, listings are also coming down, and we're listing very close to what we listed last year. Now, at this time last year, a bunch of listings were coming on the market because people were thinking, we don't know what to expect, we need to sell, or they bought previously and now they absolutely had to sell. So we saw a bunch of listings come on, and that was exciting, but then the buyers just came out in droves. And well, we listed 426 this year. Last year at the same time was 4 or 5, fairly close. And active listings has come down a little bit to just under 1,300. So the months of inventory is now sitting at 1.2. And it's been around that number, 1.2, 1.3 for several weeks. And it's pushing average sold price up to 1.8. That's the city of Toronto. Now, that might sound like, wow, that's a lot tighter area than the GTA, and it is. The GTA is massive, but so is the city of Toronto. Let me break it down a little bit further for you. So this is all the city of Toronto. Keep this in mind. Average sold price, 1,820,000. Months of inventory, 1.2. So here we have West Toronto. So everything basically west of Dufferin. And so we're looking at the big areas. We're looking at Etobicoke and Rexdale. The average sold price here is almost 1.5, 1,494,000. So let's just say 1.5, and months of inventory sitting at 1.3. Big difference from the all of Toronto that sits at 1,820,000. West Toronto sitting at 1.5. Here we have East Toronto. The average sold, so East Toronto, basically Scarborough, so Victoria Park, everything east of that. 1,275,000, so fairly close to 1.3. Months of inventory sitting at 0.8, one of the lowest months of inventory in the whole region, so 0.8. So Scarborough area, the lowest of the three. If I break Toronto down into three, the lowest average sold price of 1,270,000, but there's far more activity, there's far more action. The amount of properties here selling at list price or more, the percentage is sitting in the high 70s. Lots of action, lots going on over there. And then we have Central. The average sold price is now in the central Toronto, in between the east and the west, is sitting at 2,723,000. Just within Toronto, the average sold price is vastly different in the different regions, and months of inventory sitting at 1.6. So you have a little bit more time, there's a little bit less competition in the center of Toronto. Looking at the three, just an average sold price, you could see the vastness when it comes to average sold price. So you have down here Scarborough 1,275, then you have the west at Etobicoke Rexdale at 1,494, and then 2.7 in Central. Huge difference when it comes to average sold price. Looking at semis here. The average sold price for semis last week was 1,302,000. Came down slightly, but 1.3 million is expensive for a semi. You're looking at months of inventory of 0.8 months. Lots of activity, 72% sold at list price or more. So there's lots of competition to buy semis. Townhouses, there was only 29 that were sold last week. Months of inventory sitting at 1, and average sold price for a townhouse is just under 1.2 million. This is for all the city of Toronto. Let's take a real close look at condos. Real quick, let me introduce you to our newest condo listing in downtown Toronto. It's a brand new building, never lived in. It's a 2-bedroom plus a den, includes a parking. Check out the size of this den. You could easily have a dining room table in here or lots of space for 1-2 desks. It's got a great kitchen with integrated high-end appliances. The bedrooms are at opposite ends of the suite. It's a corner unit. There are 2 balconies. The view from every balcony, every window is postcard, amazing, amazing views. If you need more information, give me a call. Okay, so getting back to mixed clues that are out there, mixed signals. So sales for condos has been coming down. We sold 306 condos last week. So sales have been coming down. The amount that sold, the amount of condos that sold at $1 million or more is sitting at 32, which is down from the previous week. But you know, 32 is respectable. It's not like it's doing terrible. But look at average sold price. It's been going up pretty consistently. If we go back to kind of the beginning of the year, it's been going up. We are above when this whole health crisis started last year and we told to stay home in March, we were doing well. Well, things dipped in the condo market after that. We're back to the pre-health crisis pricing right now, and we have been for a while. Now, the 767 average sold price, that's the highest we've ever had. Looking at that number, and I dove down a little bit deeper, there were several high-end condos that were sold that really brought that number up. But even if we don't look at that and we look at what's been happening over the last few weeks, we're at 726, 730, 750. This week we happen to be at 767. Condo prices are back to where they were before. So I'm not sure where your plan is there or what you're hearing, but prices are up, sales are down. Kind of seems to be opposites there. Compared to where we were last year at this time, well, we're 11% higher when it comes to average sold price. Last year at this time, we sold 19 at $1 million or more. This year, 32. Sales last year, the blue is last year's numbers. We were kind of ramping up a little bit. This year, sales seem to be coming down. It's like they're going opposite directions. Here's something that doesn't make sense with the attitude that prices are going up, and it's very clear. Average sold prices are going up. The amount of condos last week that sold at list price or more, 38%, which is vastly different than where we were when we were in the 70s and the high 60s. 38% seems like you have some more time. And we've seen it with some of our clients that are looking to buy condos, that we have a little bit more time. There's a few condos in some buildings, you really got to jump on it quickly. This is why you need a good realtor in your corner helping you to know kind of how to navigate and where should you take some time and negotiate and where should you jump in. But 38% is just a different signal as far as prices going up. It seems contradictory. When we look at listings, they haven't really changed that much. So sales are coming down, but listings, we listed 814, a little bit higher than the previous week, lower, and so around 800, a little bit more, a little bit less is kind of where it's been for weeks now. And because the listings are still up there in the 800s, but sales are coming down, there's more properties to choose from. Active listings has gone up there. At week ending June 9th, just over 2,400 condos available for sale in the city of Toronto, and that has brought up the months of inventory to 1.1. Now normally when months of inventory are going up, average sold price is coming down. This case, average sold price is still going up. Sometimes there's a delay. Well, maybe in the next week or two we're going to see prices come down a bit. But overall, prices for condos have been going up. And a quick summary to give you the overall temperature of the City of Toronto market. I've got detached semis, towns, condos, months of inventory, still sitting low. West Central and East Toronto, I mean, months of inventories are low all around. We're very much in a seller's market. Nothing's changed from that in a long time. As you can see, in some situations, months of inventory has gone up, but not by much. You're barely going to notice it. When you look kind of back over a few months, you can notice it, but not necessarily on a week-to-week basis. My name is Santo Sessa with Remax Premier. If I could be of any service to your real estate needs, give me a call. Have a great day.